So in this video I am sharing the link in the description to a GitHub repo that I have that contains some Competitive Shooter Pro and Open Range stages that I created and saved. Some of the Competitive Shooter Pro I did put out in the online section, but there are some that I didn't, and even that's a backup of what might be online. And so I have that available and stuff that I've created in Open Range over on GitHub. When you go to the page, you'll see the description of what's in the Competitive Shooter Pro, how many available stages, what matches or stage is listed in there. And then, of course, go further down. Same with Open Range. Open Range will say there's 22 stages available. There's some that I got from the Facebook group. So if you're not joined on the Facebook Laser Ammo group, then you can also just get some of those stages from here, which wasn't much to my surprise. Some of the Glock stages that I created, and some Max Michel drills and some miscellaneous stuff. This one is one I got from Shooting USA and converted it to Open Range. Further down there is a change log, so you can see the version of the download. So it's pretty much by date, and that will be today's date, 2025, January 16th. And any stages that were added, anything that was updated, what was updated has been added to there, so you can determine if you want to download it or not. So to download it, you can either click on code and just download a zip file, or you can go to releases and download that particular release if you wanted to, and just download a zip file as well. So once it's downloaded, of course you probably have to unzip it. And in that structure, it's the same as shown on the page. Here's your CSP, here's your Open Range. Open Range, since you have targets to import, I also included that. So for like the GSSF, you would have to go or import this and set it up for GSSF for the circles, and instructions on how to do that I've included in the README part for this Open Range. So there's a YouTube link in that you can go to and see how I set up the target for the GSSF. And of course each of them are in its separate section: GSSF, Max Michel, Facebook group, etc. From there you can just go to Open Range, and since I'll just import one of the GSSFs because I deleted it. Version 2. There it is. And to refresh, GSS version 2. So you'll see there's 3 strings, because in the 5 o'clock there is 3 strings that you have to execute. And all of them are saying that sound of the buzzer, 2 shots only on paper. So once you have that imported, so for something with multiple strings, if you have the show AR and auto, it will display that string, but it'll only give you a few seconds before it goes to the next. So if you wanted to record it into a spreadsheet and add up the time, the +1s, +3s to that, then you would have to change that setting so you can have enough time before it starts into the next string. So what you want to do is change it over to stage, and if it was at course, then it would just go through the strings straight. There'd be no extra buzzers. So the course will just completely run through it. You have to shoot all 5 targets, 2 shots each, and do that 3 times real quick. But that's not a good indicator of starting from low ready, as in the case of GSSF. So you want to do it per stage so you can properly view your AAR before continuing on to the next string.
Are you ready? Stand by.
So here we can see, since we can't do exactly 0 for the bottom, in that video that I mentioned for this thing, can't really do 0 for the inside, so you would have to do +5. So you pretty much ignore the +5s. Over here I shot in the 1, that's 1 second, and this part would be +1 and this would be +3. So pretty much ignore all the 5s, look for the +1. That's 1 second added to last shot, 7.7, and that's what I would end up recording in a spreadsheet. And I hit continue and go to the second string.
Are you ready? Stand by.
That's an extra shot on the first, so that's a penalty, technically. And you have to include that in your own rules on the penalties of extra shots. So hit 1, hit 2, we're over there, 4, 5, 5, 5, other than a penalty, which is +10, that would be 1550. And then for the last string.
Are you ready? Stand by.
And that one had a +1 back there. So that's 5.56. Oh, that was first string. And then at the end, you can go through all of them. Which here's the initial time, 5 +1, second string. That's the extra, so that's 1550. And then the final is all clean, so that's 456. And that's how you can keep track for practice on GSSF. As far as importing that from the repo. Now a lot of these do, like I said, if it has some targets in there, like from the Facebook, there are some targets included for whatever some of these stages are, so you could set that up as well. And as far as the ones that I did, there's the 5x5 and the GSSF, and that's all available out there on GitHub, which, like I said, I'll post a link in the description so you can go to it and download it and play with some of the stages. And when I do update it, like I said, there's this repo version, and of course that same version is out on release. You can download it both either way in the releases or code and download, and it will download same zip file. It'll download the current one that's in here, which would be the current release. And you can see, like I said, I put down in the logs on what's been added or what's been updated. So hope you enjoy them, and hope that helps with your dry fire practice.